Hi 585. So in this discussion board, we're talking about the organizational culture of our field placements. Mine will be discussing a volunteer placement since my ITP won't start till next spring. So context of my placement is that I and about 40 other volunteers were dispersed in different communities, indigenous communities in a Latin American country. We set up community-based initiatives based on the goals outlined by those community members in very broad terms. So when we talk about the Hyde and the Senate articles, Hyde identifies 3 different elements of organizational structure. The Senate article identifies 5, and so 2 from those that I'm going to talk about kind of cross-connect a little bit. The first of those is artifacts, and that's the visible organizational structures or policies of an organization. The Senate article also talks about there being the membership or leadership structure. It's the way that people join in and take on roles. So the lowest level of that local community structure correspondent volunteer is where I was placed. That's most of all the on-the-ground work. You're managing the community project by yourself in a community. Sometimes you have a Latin American correspondent who you work with as sort of a point of contact, but ultimately you run things on the ground and find those resources in the community. The second level is project supervisor. They travel within a 2-3 hour radius and oversee as a resource for those CVs any other tools, resources that they might need. Project manager sets up in a larger city that has larger resources and larger contacts, that works with the larger agencies and ministries in that area, country, and they set up sort of a hub. And then project director oversees the region. So PD goes and travels over a country and oversees all of those projects on sort of a meta level. There's also HQ located in the United States. So there's a lot of different levels. There's also different divisions in terms of age, certain educational placements that also determine what responsibilities you have within those placements. So that's a really huge kind of part of the structure. They really went off of this sort of, they call it the clubhouse feel at HQ. It's very bonded and communal, and a lot of people take on a lot of different roles. So there's very delineated positions, but it's also very collectivist and communal, kind of like the Hyde article talks about as well. The second portion of that is values. Those are the strategies, goals, philosophies of an organization. That's also their, what their clear mission and goals are. In this organization, the clear mission is that communities know best what they need. We focus a lot on time, talent, and treasure and what the community itself has to offer. The entire goal and mission is that we should work ourselves out of a job. If we're successful, we shouldn't need to be there at all because we've helped to mobilize the ideas and resources that people already have and promote that for them. So that can be challenging for us because one of the articles talks about how cold calling or door knocking is one of the hardest ways to engage people, and that's essentially what you did. You have to go and talk to every community member to even identify the leaders, and then you set up personal visits to develop those relationships, and ultimately the house meetings, what the article talks about is you, on a hope and a prayer, pray that somebody that you've talked to really wants to invest in the projects that they've talked about doing, and you hope that they want to take that leap with you and that you can help guide that process. So that challenge also becomes a strength because you can't do it unless they are willing to take that leap with you. So, and it also helps to achieve our mission, which is that we don't end up being there at the end of the day. So it was a really incredible experience. I can't wait to hear about all of your experiences and learn about the different organizational structures that you all worked with. So thanks for listening. Have a good night, guys.